Greetings to Dr. Asrul. We are from Group 3 going to present a case study analysis about dust explosion at Lumut, Perak. On 17 March 2008, the dust explosion had happened in Lumut, Perak at the Malayan Flour Mills Berhad, which major producing flour. The factor that contributed to this incident was the hot activities conducted in the production site, which further caused fatality and destroyed the production equipment as shown in the figure below. The incident was triggered by the welding activity at the silo, which is considered in a confined space area that is filled with cornstarch dust. As the heat from welding activity heated the cornstarch dust, then slowly burns away the dust and further cause ignition to the area. The dust particles around the silo disperse into a cloud and it caused explosion as the dust cloud is ignited. The explosion covered vastly in the tunnel. The impact from this incident also destroyed the installation in the tunnel, conveyor system, and involves jetty with 4 fatal deaths and 2 injured were concluded.
The following safety standards should be followed to avoid the dust explosion from happening again. The first one is hazard identification, risk assessment, and control hierarchy. The second one is Section 15 of OSHA 1994. According to Section 15 of OSHA 1994, the employers are required to establish a safer environment to protect the health and safety of their employees and any other people who may be impacted by the activities being performed. The next one is make a regular housekeeping before conducting any work in the factory. The fourth one is practice safety precaution for welding work. And the last one is NFPA 654, which are the standards for the prevention of fire and dust explosion from the manufacturing, processing, and handling of combustible particulate solids that presents a variety of effective techniques for designing dust-related buildings and refers to several additional NFPA codes and standards for certain issues.
First operative procedure is to implement a 5S practice. Hazard control measures include to prevent the accumulation of the combustible dust in the silo. As you can see from the figure shown on the slide, the 5 principles of 5S is short, set in order, shine, standardize, and sustain, which aim to eliminate waste and improve efficiency. These all materials involved are labeled and organized into color-coded storage area. This in turn can help to prevent incidents such as dust explosion and promote a safe and healthy work environment because people around it aware of the consequences that might happen. Apart from that, it is suggested that the organization should apply the hierarchy of control during the evaluation and selection of the safety instrument for controlling the process hazard. The concept is illustrated as shown in the figure on the slide, which include elimination, substitution, engineering control, administrative control, and PPE. The most effective approach is elimination, meaning the hazard has been physically removed and would not occur in the workplace. For example, the grain dust must be put in the closed storage tank to ensure that no element can trigger an explosion in contact with the dust.
So next is Emergency Response Plan, ERP, which is a written document that outlines the series of actions your business will take in the case of serious incident in order to protect personnel and limit the impact on vital operations. ERP assists in detecting any threats and to minimize or avoid any harm to those involved, as well as avoid damage happen to property. To create ERP, first carry a comprehensive threat analysis. Keep a record of connect details, setting up the role and responsibilities, analyze the resources that are currently available in your company, and then identify the phases in your response plan, and lastly is select a communication strategy for the workers. Last but not least is control ignition sources, which is a way to prevent dust explosion to happen inside or outside of the processing pipe and equipment by controlling the factor that can lead to explosion. The two methods to control ignition sources is encapsulation protection method and explosion-proof protection method.
Okay. Dust explosion incident is due to the execution of an operational activity that requires heat, like welding, in a restricted area occupied by cornstarch dust. It can be elucidated through a dust explosion pentagon that incorporates the elements of an ignition source, confinement, oxygen in the air, combustible dust, and dispersion. Thus, to prevent such incidents from reoccurring, safety laws, codes, and standards are employed to ensure the safety of the employers and workers in the workplace. Following are the safety laws that must be implemented to avoid this incident, including the Occupational Safety and Health Act 1994, hazards identification, risk assessment and control, regular housekeeping, and the standards for the prevention of fire and dust explosions from the manufacturing, processing, and handling of combustible particulate solids, NFPA 651.